While Aurora is racing you down and Oscilio is putting together flashy combo turns, Ziggy is playing an entirely different game. This hero isn't about overwhelming you with raw damage. It's about creating value and slowly planting your opponent in a position where every answer feels like it's just a temporary solution. Today, we're breaking down everything there is to know about Ziggy. We'll talk about the hero's playstyle, strengths, weaknesses, and who this hero really is for, and where we think Ziggy fits into the current meta. Now, before I say all this, Andrew, there is a popular Ziggy list out there right now running Iris and Refractor. But we're not doing that. That's too that's too meta, right? We're doing this based off the mind grapes of Justin the Great, the wizard player himself, right? And we are playing the Aphrodias build. That's right, this is the Aphrodias Ziggy breakdown. Great value or great waste. All right, but first, what did we learn since last week, Andrew?
I've learned how much fun I can have while playing Aurora, man. Yeah, like so last week we did the Aurora list.
Uh huh.
I have played with it some more. Already changed like 20 cards out of it because of course I did. And yeah, no, that was just has been really fun to play at Armories. Arc Lighting is really messed up card, man.
So I know you were kind of like, it's a good deck, it's strong, it does win, but you weren't sure if it could go the distance. But you're saying now, after you played around with it, tweaked it a little bit more, made it run more optimum, you greased the lightning, and it's ready to like shock people and kill them. So you're enjoying this?
Yeah, this is almost assuredly what I'm bringing to the Pro Tour now. Unless
Oh man,
somehow like we reach the end of like Shinjuku and like the top eight's like all huntsmen.
is Huntsman one weakness your Aurora list has?
Oh, bro, that matchup is bad.
Yeah, see, I guess with Reinar, I never had an issue with Huntsman. Like he's like almost a free win for me.
Oh yeah, no, that's acceptable and normal. Huntsman's a deck that like is usually pretty bad, but man, the matchups where it's good, it's so good.
Okay, I can see that. I can see that. I guess because Aurora also is shit for block, right? So that's not something you want to be against Huntsman, especially since you don't like to block anyways.
Yeah, you don't have a real weapon. So like what ends up happening is like you never really get to like trade ahead on cards. And so like, they play one contract, banish a card from the top of your deck, and they've like already won the fatigue race.
Okay,
And you have to deal
so
40 damage.
how do you do against his counterpart, the Marionette builds?
Mario's fine. Like you just kill them.
So in the southeast, we got something called the AGE. It's a new thing they're trying to go out here. I was not planning on going. I didn't know what it was, and then actually Sinclair, TCG Big Show, and Jose, they were talking about it, and I was like, man, what is this thing? And so I was actually being very kind of lackluster about going to armies and like playing because it's fun, but I had like summer stuff to do for my work and job. And so, yeah, I figured I'll go to AGE, and now I got to start grinding again, right? So it should be interesting. I got a new Reinhardt build. I stopped playing the silly cards and started pitting the good ones. Started
Yeah.
like blinging out my weapons, so I'm not just running with Meat Axe. I'm running with the Savage Claw and Ball Breaker, of course, and making it a little more consistent. So also running a pretty unique sideboard. It's kind of like a Switchblade approach. It's all the 2 for 6 attacks that have different on-hit triggers for the different heroes. I figured so he's got a little disruption, but still aggro build. I'm kind of liking this new variation, and my tech, Andrew. Clank, clank, clank. I'm still running them because I think I'll sacrifice 3 value or 2 value for the consolation those gloves, the gambler's gloves bring me. Right? I'm liking this build, dude.
It'll be very fun to see somebody lose to this.
Dude,
It's
it
just
did
playing
well. Like when I went to
Tunic
Memphis, it did exceptionally well. It high rolled the hell out of things. Now, I even my average rolls is still really good with Reinhardt because he's still a powerful, good numbers, explosive deck that you have to pray I don't get the Blood Rush Bellows on, right? So, and a lot of people are not expecting this kind of Reinhardt build when I roll boots every turn. In fact, I did it with Tommy, and I still had to go again. He was like, "Oh, so you didn't need to roll the boots?" I was like, "No, I did. I just had a different play angle if I didn't get my 2 or 3 action points." So I'm just saying, I put the token back in. So now that he's got his Malort token, I'll make sure to return that to you one day. But
Do you need me to bring the Malort to Alabama?
dude, I No, I better keep the AG nice and. I don't think I'm driving, so I could probably have a little more as a celebration. Maybe we'll bring some beers to celebrate at the end of it. But
You have to
anyways.
get to the end of it first.
So yeah, I'll probably start showing up to your Thursdays, Armory, since Sundays kind of got moved too far for me, and then start going to Tuesdays again. So it should be interesting. I'm back on normal schedule next week. But yeah, that's what I learned. So I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm getting excited again. I forget gearing up for a tournament, like what it feels like, you know. So
Yeah,
I mean, you go to a lot of them though, so like
I haven't spent like the last month or two prepping for nationals and the Pro Tour at all.
shoot.
I didn't just like go from being like, oh man, I can't wait till after the Pro Tour where I have nothing to do to be like, man, I can't say no.
It's funny. I didn't even think about it. You're going to nationals, and then you get back, and then at AGE's the next weekend, isn't it?
It's the Pro Tour and then the AG.
Okay, Pro Tour then.
Yeah, like
So
nationals was like a month ago, so like
Pro Tour, yeah,
yeah, I haven't had like a crazy amount of downtime.
yeah. Interesting. I know. Well, actually, it's kind of beneficial then with all the ban list announcements that came out, because that really disrupted a lot of the current players that were on Oscilio. A lot of them were liking that deck, and now they got to scramble to find their new thing. So definitely shake things up. I guess that's why you're looking for the videos tonight. From which one is it?
Calling Shinjuku.
Yeah, Shizuku. All right, man. So that's enough about what we learned. Let's talk about our glory hero themselves, Ziggy.
Starlight.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about his hero identity? And then
Yeah,
again,
I
thank you,
think like
Justin, for the list.
yeah, I think the easy. Oh yeah, by the way, other fun random thing. Justin also gave us a budget list for last week's deck list, which we will put in the description of last week's episode.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
yeah, we probably should have mentioned that at one point.
Yeah.
But this week we have Ziggy. So Ziggy's ability is as an instant, you pay 2 tap, destroy a lightning flow you control, banish another lightning aura permanent you control with no holo counters on it, and then you return the banished aura to the arena with a holo counter.
All right. And the Aphrodias weapon, that's the new thing. I know this is like what LSS really wanted us to build him with, but everyone went Refractor and Iris. So for those that don't know what this weapon is, they chucked it out as soon as they opened their Ziggy. This is a instant 1 resource tap, deal 2 arcane damage to a target hero. Activate this only if an aura with a holo counter has entered the arena under your control this turn. All right.
Yeah, so like the easy thing to see is with your hero, you pitch a blue on like an aura to deal 2 arcane to your opponent.
Yeah.
Now that being said, you'll also note we have a special thing in our arm slot, the Starfield Touch.
Interesting.
Yeah, it blocks 1, has Battle Worn, and as instant you can pay 1 to destroy it and untap an Aphrodias you control.
Okay.
So what this means is you have access to a very wizard-like kill, actually, where you go like play an aura, activate the Ziggy, Aphrodias, activate Starfield Touch, Aphrodias. That throws 4 arcane on your opponent's turn, which very good way to close out games. And then if you go down, we have the primary aura we want to target, which is Stardust Spike, which 0 cost lightning instant aura with Ward 2, and when it leaves the arena, you gain a resource in Amp 1. So activating Ziggy triggers the ability on Stardust Spike. So generally what you want to do is play Stardust Spike, activate Ziggy, Aphrodias, have your opponent destroy Stardust Spike by attacking you, because like you do this in response to them attacking. And then you activate your arms to Aphrodias again. And something you'll note about this is that Stardust Spike generates 2 resources in this process.
Yeah.
And so this process only costs 3 total resources plus the 2 from Stardust Spike for a total of 5. So you can do it off of a hand of 4 reds if one of them is Stardust Spike.
So obviously the Aphrodias Starfield Touch is to close the game out. Would you ever do this combo ahead of time, or would you only save it for the kill?
Sometimes you do it at a different time, but generally this is like the primary way you want to close out games with this particular deck.
So if you pop this combo early, things have gone seriously wrong, and you kiss your Starlight ass goodbye.
Yeah, I think a way to look at it is like when a wizard breaks Storm Striders early, it's not like they're going to lose, but it is exactly what you don't want to do.
Yeah. All right. So I obviously Crown of Providence, Final Spring Tunic, and Snapdragon Scalers is kind of self-explanatory. Snapdragon Scalers, though, is this just because the deck is slanted to get your opponent within the reach of Ziggy as fast as possible?
Yeah, so you'll note that most Ziggy lists that are on Refractor play
Mm-hmm.
Lightning Greaves as their primary luck piece.
Right.
In this deck, Lightning Greaves is your primary Arcane Barrier piece.
I think we get that in the sideboard, don't we?
Yeah,
Yes, it
so like
is
it's
right
still
here.
on the list, but this one's a little less Lightning Greaves focused. One thing I will say that's nice about it is that you can build like this particular variant for quite cheap if you're willing to just give up on like the Lightning Greaves and let's see what else is like expensive here. Like you have like the shelters. You can just play Fate Foreseen. Like we have Shock Charmers too, which is
Mm-hmm.
just for Oscilio.
Yeah, I think
And
the
then
most
like
expensive stuff is probably the Gun and Flash and Current Funnels currently.
yeah, we have the dumb expensive lightning cards
Yeah.
that like they are not super duper integral to the deck. Current Funnel is literally a blue block free lightning card that sometimes you play.
Yeah. I think people will see Current Funnel and see the expensive card and say, oh, this is integral to the combo of this deck. It's really not. It's you got sometimes upside to it, right? But it's not really your combo piece, not your gear to get you going ham, you know? Gun in the Flash though is pretty important though, isn't it?
That's pretty nice. What you'll know about this deck is that you do not have a real weapon, for lack of a better description, because Aphrodias, doesn't just like let you convert resources in an
Mm-hmm.
action point into like a nice simple like attack value for you to like convert cards on offense with.
Yeah.
And so Gone in Flash lets you like convert all of your instants into like real things that
Yeah.
do stuff, basically.
That makes sense. So this is kind of similar to how the other Ziggy list plays, because you kind of with this you playing on with the instance, you're bouncing it, and this is an arsenal target for you to kind of keep your attacks and your pressure going on for the next turn if it gets to that point, right?
Yeah. This deck plays fairly similar to like the Gone Oscilio list. Just
Mm-hmm.
you don't do the Lightning Greaves combo. You just do the like sending 0 for 4s at your opponent.
Well, let's talk about some of the cards in here. I think the equipment suite's pretty obvious. This is the standard loadout. Obviously, the Shock Charmers is mainly for the Celio matchup because of the Spell Void too, unless that's changed. One thing I have to ask you though, when you play against a Ziggy, do you ever bring AB at all, or you're like, yeah, why would I care about AB?
Well, so the funny you mentioned it because now I'm playing Aurora. You may think I would with Dyadic Carapace, but we sent out Dyadic in this matchup because I'm currently playing like A for Iron Weave plus was it Crown of Dominion for like dumb Arc Lightning turns against Ziggy because it's normally a deck that's not too aggressive.
Mm-hmm. Sick.
Uh, but yeah, no, the answer is usually no unless you just already have it.
Yeah. I mean, and that's that. Yeah, I know. If I don't run AB against any wizard except Kano, then I'm certainly not going to run AB against a Ziggy. So, I mean, you get me within your reach. Pretty much, it's on the ticking time bomb, anyways, right? So,
Yeah.
all right.
Like,
So,
some decks do like still play it.
yeah, do you want to run me through the basic 45 then? Like, I mean, some of these are your basic instant cards that have some upside.
Yeah. So like we have like just the good lightning cards. We have like electrostatic discharge, flittering charge, gone in flash, lightning press. These are like cards you may recognize from like every lightning hero in the last like 2 years. They're just so good.
Yeah, and I know Flowing Storm Strike is one of the newer ones. I mean, this doesn't inherently have a go again, but it's a finisher, but it also can be you have floating resources, but creating the lightning flow token seems pretty important, right?
Yeah. One thing you'll know is that Ziggy's ability requires you to create a lightning
Mm-hmm.
flow to actually be used, and you need to figure out how to get that lightning flow.
So I mean, you got a 0 for 4 here that does create a lightning flow for every instant
Instant.
card you play, and that's if you balance it several times, do whatever you need to do, you get your choice of embodiment lightning or lightning flow. And that embodiment of lightning does work on the flow state embodiment itself.
What?
Does it?
No, you don't just like give it go again by playing like.
An instant?
Oh, I
Or is it
mean
the
like
next?
yeah, Environment Lightning's the next attack action.
Oh, okay, okay. Don't do that, guys.
Yeah. So like Flow State Embodiment and Flowing Storm Strike are like nice 0 cost ways to generate
Mm-hmm.
this. You also note too that this is a deck that for the most part is playing a very low to the ground cost curve.
Yeah.
but has like good number of blues, because blues make the kill a lot easier to execute because it lets you block with a bunch of cards and force your opponent to actually extend before you go for like the Aphrodias kill if they're playing any arcane barrier. And so
Okay.
Flowing Storm Strike's a nice like resource outlet that this deck really wants. And then we have our Tunic rewards, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So, on a normal Ziggy list, like you're usually trying to use Tunic to activate Lightning Greaves. In this one, you get to play Flittering Spike, everybody's
Flittering Spike. Yeah.
favorite draft all-star. Yeah, remember Flittering Spike?
Yeah.
Yeah, those cards. Like a 1 for 6 that says on hit make a flow. That's really good.
Yeah. Interesting.
If you
Okay.
yeah, if you
So
can find a way
that's
to use it.
yeah, that's your spring tunic payoff, and then
Yeah, that Miraging Metamorph is the other big one.
oh yeah, when it's destroyed, the Emerging Metamorph is the illusionist action attack. It's a 7 power, 3. It's a popper phantasm. When this is destroyed, create a token copy of an aura you control. It's got a good upside. It's a one. It's a 7 power card. It's
It's
and
a
if
one.
you yeah, dude, it's great. So I mean, there's a reason why they only gave you one, and you need to find the other two. So
Right. Yeah, other thing too. Big thing with Miraging Metamorph is get to copy Lightning Flow if your opponent ever pops it. But now that
mm.
Prism's gone, nobody ever pops it
Oh,
except
that's
for
right.
Guardian and Brute and Ira, I guess.
Dude, I didn't even think about with Prism gone. There's not going to be poppers, and Kano's gone and Prism's gone, so the inventory slots are opened up again, right? And they're not
Um,
going to run poppers against Ziggy's Phantasm, so it's still a 1 card 7, mostly because you get the Tunic.
yeah,
Jesus. Okay.
yeah. Outside of that, for our main board reds, we have Unwinding Finality, which is another pretty fun card. 0 for 5, block free, on hit, draw a card, has Fragment, and whenever it fragments, put a lightning instant card from your graveyard on top of your deck. So, aggro decks don't like blocking. If they don't want to block, Fragment never triggers, and so this just turns into like Snatch on crack. Also, just has to hit, doesn't have to hit a hero, so against Gravy, it's pretty unconditional answer to a ton of the allies. But the big thing with
And
it,
I'm sorry, go ahead, Andrew.
yeah, is that the fragment ability lets you recycle Stardust Spike to Arsenal for your kill if it's in graveyard.
Yeah. I also like that fragment happens for every card that blocks, and so they have to use 2 cards to block it, right? Or no, it's a one
I
card
think it's
block.
give you a free block.
Okay. But with the lightning press on it, that's kind of, or even the electrostatic discharge, right?
Yeah,
So you got to
yeah.
really answer your question. If they have it, you're going to draw that card, and they probably get that instant card from your graveyard back on top of your
Yeah,
deck.
there's like there are fun lines you can do with this. Like if you go just like discharge into finality, your opponent has to give you 2 cards to stop the on hit.
Hmm.
Suddenly you put like 2 blinks on top of your deck with a Gone and a Flash and Arsenal.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Now, question about the ruling on this. Whenever this fragment, so you block, and the fragment ability triggers, and then it orders the hit. So you can pretty much stack the instant you want from your graveyard on top of your deck, and then draw it based off this card, right?
Yeah, another funny thing you can do is you can lightning press it in response to the fragment trigger, put the lightning press on top, and then draw the lightning press to Arsenal.
That's fucking badass, man. That's so good, dude.
It is pretty funny.
It's so funny.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
a lot of turns, you just be like, okay, are you gonna block this now?
And you still draw the card. What a ball breaker. Dude,
Yeah,
I
and your
like
opponent
that a
plays
lot,
one.
man. That's funny as hell. There's no way to recycle attack action cards, right? Because they took remembrance
On
out.
this deck.
Yeah. All right, tell me about Blink. Why do we have this blue pitch lightning instant 0 cost game when
Basically, with the way this deck works, you need like 15 blues.
Okay.
So, playing Blink is pretty good in conjunction with Gone and Flash. That
Yeah.
being said, this just has to be a blue card that can give go again. You can
Okay.
easily play like Sigil of Lightning, which notably Ziggy can blink. Haha, get it? A Sigil of Lightning at the start of your turn.
Okay, I'm just seeing if it's down here. It's not. It might be
Yeah,
down
look at the
here.
maybe board. You can see that Justin
Yeah, he's got
puts
a lot
literally
here.
everything in
I'm
there.
surprised he didn't do Essence and you're right. This is a speed deck. It's not a defensive deck. Okay.
If,
So,
I
interesting.
remember what we're talking about at this point.
Sorry, man.
Oh,
I went off on a tangent because so Blink target.
yeah, yeah, you can play like Starlight Road as well. Like you just need like something that gives go again, because this is a deck that desperately wants action points, and action points are like usually what's holding you back.
I remember Cosmic
Duality.
Duality.
Yeah, it's a blue block free, and that instant ability is really nice for lightning flow generation. It's also just a way to increase your reach. A very real thing that can happen with this deck is you go into your final turn, you draw this Stardust Spike, a blue, and a red, and you don't even have a flow out. You go, okay, Duality, ping you for one Stardust Spike, activate Ziggy, Aphrodias, touch, and let your opponent clear the Stardust Spike somehow, and that's a solid 7 arcane that you're just throwing at your opponent's face. Messes with all of their math.
It's kind of interesting because sometimes, like, not bringing it back to Reiner, but I am. People say that Reiner doesn't have a hero ability, right? I beg to differ. Like,
He
sometimes,
doesn't.
50% of the time, right, your opponent starts at lower life because he can just intimidate the whole hand and bleed damage through, right? I feel like Ziggy's got this invisible hero power too. Like, your opponent can start at 36 and they don't even know it, you know?
Or 34 realistically with the spikes.
Yeah. And so if you're playing with, like, you have, full 40 and you're not even expecting this, it'll get you. And then sometimes when you play suboptimally just to not get pinged out by Ziggy, so
Yeah, like once you're down to 9, you have to start blocking.
yeah. And with all these power attacks, go wide attacks, it's very possible to get down to 9 fairly fast.
Yeah. You have other things like we already talked about current funnel. Yeah, so like Fleeing Starblaze and Nourishing Glow, these are just additional ways to activate Aphrodias because if you only play free Stardust Spike, you're unlikely to actually draw it. But in the late game, it's completely reasonable to be like, yeah, I can't draw these, or more accurately, in your shorter games, let's
Yeah.
go with this instead.
And the Fleeing Starbreeze, it does give your target attack action go again. It does have Ward 1. So there is definitely some upside to this too. And
Yeah, you can go was it like Tunic, Flittering Spike, Fleeing Starbreeze into
mhm,
like something else, or you can go like Flittering Spike, pitching a blue, Fleeing Starbreeze on it, send a Flowing Storm Strike. You have one card in hand. You created a flow. Look at your opponent. You're like, look, I can buff this Flowing Storm Strike up to 6. Or if you block 6, I just activate Ziggy on my Flowing Storm Strike to give it go again, and I play another 0 for 4. We're just gonna keep playing this game.
nice. Yeah, so I can see that too. Plus, it's also gone in a flash target, like you were saying, right?
Yeah, they have to be careful of Gone and Flash on it because you can't target Gone and Flash and Fleeing Starberries if you return the Gone and a Flash to your hand. So you either A, have to play the Fleeing Starbreeze before the Gone and a Flash triggers in the first place, in
Okay.
like the lair step or something.
So
Or
would you say play Gun and Flash, hold trigger, play Fleeing Starbreeze, activate Fleeing Starbreeze trigger to give Gun and Flash go again, bounce Gun and Flash?
oh, that is you don't get to bounce Gone and a Flash if you do that.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, that's like something to keep in mind. You can also decline to bounce Gone in a Flash. It is a May ability. Another
Mm,
thing you can do too is you can play an instant whole priority Fleeing Starbreeze because Gone in a Flash just triggers on the next instant. Play Fleeing since like the Fleeing Starbreeze is played second, it enters, gives the Gone go again, and then you resolve the go to was it the Gone in a Flash pickup.
okay.
And yeah, no, it's be very good at communicating with your opponent when playing this deck.
I mean, I know I always had trouble with, my priorities, so maybe playing this could help you kind of get like your toe in the water, like playing Wizards, you know? So,
Yeah, this deck doesn't have a lot of advanced stuff, but it
well, the
does
Nourishing
have purpose as
Glow,
well.
you get the hit point, you get the Ward 1, so this is one of those sneaky, like, illusionist prism tricks, you know?
Yeah, it's also pretty nice against stuff like Syndra. You just block like the third chain link, they flick you, you play Nourishing Glow, you gain life, and stop the flick.
Love that.
That's like its primary use case here.
How about Mario? He does the same crap, right?
Yeah, you'll do similar things against Mario. Like they'll throw a really big dagger at you, and you say, "Yeah, no blocks,"
Mm-hmm.
and they'll try to flick the Hunter's Clave to get their dagger go again or whatever, and you just say no.
Lovely. All right.
And then we
That's your main 45?
Yeah, here we have the fun cards to add in. So I think it's easy to start with equipment here because we already talked about 2 of them. Kappa Quick Thinking. So this card is primarily for Syndra because if you'll note, this deck has a lot of instants in it. And unlike Oscilio, you don't have a hero ability that lets you get rid of them whenever you draw 4 of them in the same hand. And when you do that against Syndra, you lose the game.
Fair. All right.
Um,
That's quick thinking on your part, or Justin's part, I should say.
yeah, we totally didn't just steal this from every Oscilio deck list in the last year.
If it works, it works.
Yeah, and another good place for it is actually Aurora, because Arc Lightning can often deal upwards of 6 individual pings for 1. And so it's very
Mm.
easy just to like have a hand of like 2 to 3 instants. You just go, yeah, break Kappa quick thinking. Let's go digging.
Oh yeah, you see that. It's also, as you said, a good way to dig to get your combo off toward the late end game too,
Yeah,
right?
you can draw your Stardust Spike, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I see. I don't think I ever realized that this is you could discard an instant card and draw a card, prevent 1 damage, so it keeps on happening on the turn that you would on the
Yeah.
source, right? So
Yeah, no, I've like drawn 10 plus cards in one turn with this card before.
yeah, I got you. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you also played against Oscilio because it can prevent Arcane. So if they're on
Hmm.
the Arcane variant, you get to go break Kappa Quick Thinking and discard an instant to prevent free Arcane. You don't even have to give up a card from hand.
Yeah. Why the 3 defensive cards if you're trying to go fast?
So Sigil of Solace, you play in almost every matchup just because it's a good instant. So like, what do we have in main here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 15 instants that we play into everybody. Sigil of Solace, you play into almost everybody. The main exception being Gravy Bones,
Hmm.
because you really need every card in your deck to convert on offense against Gravy.
Fair. All right. And the shelter
And
from the
then
storm sink below?
yeah, Syndra doesn't let you say no blocks. Basically, the answer. Shelter from the Storm could easily be Fate Foreseen as well if you want to make this deck cheaper.
I can't believe
You do
Syndra's
not,
back, man. I'm sorry. I'm still like
bro.
everyone thought she was dead, right? You remember this crap? Like, oh no, Syndra's over.
Have you read
Bullshit,
Draco Fire? They
dude.
reprinted Grid of
I
Cinderclaw.
I know. I thought that was a Fang card too. Anyways,
It is a Fang
I
card.
mean, it is
They
a Fang
didn't
card.
even. They thought that Syndra would be gone by now.
Fair, fair, fair. I'm sorry.
Apparently.
Dude, I was like, man, everyone was dooming and glooming on Syndra, right? And all of a sudden, she's hot shit. Like literally, I mean, draconic. It makes sense, right? But all right. So how about the? So these are more like mostly for your aggro matchups that are really aggro, like high speed. Like maybe even would you do this against Phi, Syndra, and Aurora?
Definitely against Syndra and Aurora. I don't know about Phi, because Phi is a little bit of a special case because he
Mm,
doesn't have on hits. And so with
gotcha.
some decks, something that happens with Phi is that you just have to kill him before he kills you. Like Oscilio is one of these where I know
Mhm.
testing for nationals, like I tested playing like defensively against Phi and I'm like, wow, I'm losing. And then I just stopped playing
Yeah,
cards that blocked against Phi and then I killed him.
that's my kind of game plan, man. All right, so I'm liking this. So sink below, shelter from the storm. Mario, Huntsman, would you play against them or not really?
Yeah, you also play against Mario. That's the main reason why we have Shelter over Fate. This is like one of the easier decks to get away with the Fate budget replacement over Shelter because you have Ward already to answer a good bit of the like Flick Knife shenanigans.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Do you want to just go through the rest? I am curious about,
My Gerbil? Yeah.
I know why you do it because it's a big mind game against your opponent. Yeah, and you've spoken about this several times where, you can play this and they don't know if you're going to play an instant on this chain link or not, but they have to
Yeah,
block it.
technical generation. Yeah,
So,
no, you're gonna play the instant eventually, whatever.
yeah.
Like generally it's correct to either block free on this or not block free on this.
Hmm.
And it depends on the type of deck you're playing.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, I feel like you always kind of want to block the 3 on this most of the time because you don't want them to
yeah,
get the lightning
but
flow tokens if they don't have them. If they have a lot of them, then fuck it. Just, take the hit, right?
yeah, be a man. Take the dribble.
Take the gerbil. All right. I mean, 0 for 3.
Try. Yeah.
Yeah.
Says kill sawbones on it. One thing I
Yeah.
will say about this deck is that was it Gravy can be quite annoying because you don't really have a lot of small attacks. And so this
Mm.
is like one thing you're actually happy to throw at Gravy.
Yeah, like
Couple sawbones.
gravy. Like I like how people doom and gloom on these heroes, and all of a sudden they come back and like they're not dooming and glooming no more. All
Oh
right.
yeah, but I've surely never seen Paul complain about Gravy being dead and win nationals at the same time.
Oh man. All right. How about lightning surge? It's just a great arsenal target. Gets go again. Makes the
Yeah,
opponent guess of what it is. Right. Could be
yeah,
Gonna Flash.
yeah,
Could be lightning surge.
it's just nice to for go again. We only have two of them in the deck,
Hmm.
because Justin is addicted to putting 2 into his deck list instead of playing free of the good card.
I mean, you could probably take out
You
Ravenous
can take out
Rabble.
Rabble.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Put in
but
Lightning
this is a
Surge
deck
and
that
another
has a
Storm
little
Shard.
bit of pressure on the arsenal because you
Uh-huh.
desperately want to arsenal like Gone in a Flash or Stardust Spike.
Yeah.
Or like you'll want to arsenal Mirage and Metamorph because Tunic's on too.
You could try to bait out the Command and Conquer if you know your opponent's on them. Put a Lightning Surge in there so there's some payoff, and then, I'm not saying it's a good plan. I'm just saying it's something you can do, right?
No, you want to bait your opponent into playing Command and Conquer. You play Sigil of Solace, arsenal, and then you go,
Yes.
okay, damage step. I will play Sigil of Solace
Yeah, that's
next.
good. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Ravenous Rebel here, this is another fun one that can be a lot of things. So you'll note this deck has a lot of blues in it.
Yeah,
So you can
15.
play, what is it? You can play Outed instead in this slot. Or
Okay.
if you're really crazy, you can play Lunar Mirage.
Lunar Mirage. All right,
Yeah,
dude.
you remember Lunar Mirage?
No, you're gonna make me pull up Fabbazaar real quick, and I'm gonna look that
Yeah.
up and bring it up on the Fabbazaar page. Hold on.
Yeah,
Lunar.
it was printed this year, bro.
Dude, I don't remember that. Dude, I don't remember yesterday. All right,
You don't
Lunar
have Lunar
Mirage.
Mirage?
This is from Compendium. So it's a 0 for 3 block. When an attack action card with 6 or more defends this becomes a copy of that card. Go again, Mirage. When this is defending a non-illusion attack with 6 or more, destroy this.
Yeah. So this, it's like a 0 for free of Gogan that blocks free, so it kills Sawbones. And Gravy is never gonna block this with Conqueror of the High Seas.
Yeah. Gosh.
So against Gravy, it's still pretty good.
Actually, I like this card too. I mean, I guess real estate's. I kind of like this card for,
He told me no when I told him he should play it, but he didn't even test it, the coward.
I mean, to be fair, like it's only good against Guardians and Brutes, right? Like currently, right? So.
Oh no, it's hand extension. Like it's good against Gravy. It still kills allies, man.
I guess it's true. Yeah. Okay.
That's
It's good.
It's killing allies.
So I don't know. Compared to Lunar Mirage, I'm liking Lunar Mirage over Ravenous in some ways, but I can see Justin. Justin does like Ravenous Rabble. He think it's a great card, no doubt, right? It's a 0 for 4 Gogan, right? Most of the time.
Yeah, or you can just play like Enlightened Strike.
Yeah, that's great. Phantasmaclasm.
Yeah, no, this is really good stats for the cost.
It's a 2-card 9.
Yeah, and when you play, you get to look at your opponent's hand, put a card on bottom, and then they draw a card. The one thing that is kind of funny about this card is if your opponent has no cards in hand, they still draw a card. So that can happen in case if you're playing against Oscilio mainly, they just play a ton of instants out, and you're like, uh-oh.
Dude, I never even knew that.
Another thing too is it says defending hero, so it triggers against Gravy, which is pretty funny, even when you're attacking an ally.
Oh yeah, that's good, and that could really screw them up.
Yeah, so this is a good part of your aggro game plan. Is usually you bring in Phantasmaclasm, your shelters, your sinks, and you just play this really nice math game where you're just playing slightly above rate attacks until your opponent is at 6, then you kill them.
Sometimes even 9, based off what you were saying earlier. Was it 9?
Yeah, 7 was
the max.
6.
Okay.
Yeah, next we got Spears to Reality.
Just a good card, right?
A nice simple 1 for 5. Good little Tunic outlet in your games where you just need more hand extension.
Yeah.
That being said, you have to be very careful with this.
Yeah, if they block it, you'd lose the go again and your turn shuts down, right? So.
Yeah, for example, Oscilio can just block with a fry and lightning press it, and that's your turn done.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so this is probably a sideboard out for anything that runs a lot of 6 power attacks. That's kind of ballsy of Justin playing this one.
Well, you either play it in matchups where they're never going to pop you, or you play it against Gravy where you're only going to attack allies with it.
Gotcha. Against the aggro matchups, you want the Spears of Reality in there because you're going to outvalue them that, right?
Yeah. If you're playing against an aggro deck that doesn't require you to play the defense reactions, say for example, Phi.
Yeah.
This is a matchup where that card could be quite nice.
I like how they have Storm here.
Oh, come on, it's a Magic Gathering character.
Oh, is it? Storm Shard?
Yeah, Storm from Marvel Superheroes, my favorite Magic the Gathering.
That's hilarious. And don't get me started on Universe. We'd have to start the video for that crap. Storm Shard, just what? It's a Tunic payoff and it has some upside?
Yeah, so it's an additional copy of Lightning Press. So when you desperately need instants, this is the bottom of the barrel of playable instants.
So let's say your generic 15. What would you run in the main board?
Like,
Like, let's say let's say a newer player, you don't really know what to do. No, now we do have a couple sideboard guides because Justin did some work earlier for us.
I
And he
made the
gets his
cyber
matchups here.
hacks.
Oh, you did this? Oh,
Yeah,
thanks, Andrew.
yeah. So if they're bad, that's all my fault. If they're bad, it's Justin's fault. If
Dude,
it's good, it's mine.
I mean, dude, you made the damn. I forgot how you told me to say it. Top.
Oh, yeah, don't think about it. Don't think about it.
I can't remember.
Stop.
Anyways, you know what I'm talking about. So, okay, what would be your main 15 if you're just generally not sure about what cards to side in? What would you just do? Like as a generic 15, would you pit like Fry, Lightning Search, Phantasmaclasm, Ravenous Rabble? That's your
Uh,
10, and then maybe Sigil of Solace, and you know,
so if you're playing like a deck where you want to block against, you'll bring in like the Shelter, Sigil,
mhm.
Sink as like 9 cards, and you bring in 3 Phantasmaclasm, and then you either bring in the Gerbil or the Spears, depending on how much you think they may be on poppers.
Okay, I guess that makes sense because you can still volatile Fluxter on your Sigil. I mean, you know,
Yeah, hey, just
why
play
not?
your Gerbil and see how they do block.
Yeah, I do like that little manipulation here. He looks so happy too. Look at his face,
Yeah, but you just Gerbil check people.
dude. That's great. There's 181 maybes. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
what can we
We don't
say?
look.
No, Astral Strike. I noticed a lot of people don't play this card. Is it just because it's kind of like Lightning Flow is
You
too
know how
high real
hard it is to
estate?
destroy a lightning flow?
Yeah. Okay. That's what I figured.
Like, let's see. I want if you're playing like Oscilio Fork Continuum, that's actually the best home for Astral Strike.
Okay.
And then you're playing Fork Continuum, which, in case you're hoping for a deck tech for that next week, it won't happen because that tech is so bad.
Next week we got our good friend Evan coming on, and we were going to cover his Lyeth deck, right? Because he's pretty happy with where Lyeth turned out. So
Yeah, no,
little
he
preview
was.
there.
Yeah, what was it? We were at Minneapolis, and
Hmm.
we're at the Mall of America in Minneapolis, as you do. We went to Spencer's, and then he saw a shirt that talked about gooning, and he was like, "Oh my
All
god,
right.
I can play live again."
So I know we. I actually look forward to playing his Lyeth deck. Yeah, he got me good a couple times. I mean, I still took it out, but it's because Lyeth wasn't fully developed as a hero yet. But I'm afraid of some of his new cards, man. All right. So I like this Aurora deck. I'm sorry, the Ziggy deck. It's new. It's Aphrodias.
Oh, it's
Great
spicy.
value. Great waste. What are you sliding on here? And then we'll go ahead and talk about Ziggy himself, right? I know we jumped right into the deck tech, so
I think the big thing is that this is a deck that really sucks against people that know what you're doing. Like aggro decks can't really play around this game plan very well, so you're actually fine there. But like like the more mid-range decks, like say for example, Psy, if they don't bring any defense reactions, you can outmath them. The second they do, suddenly life gets a lot harder
yep.
because
But
the refractor build punishes your opponent for being too defensive.
yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting though. But like you're talking about a very small subset of Aphrodias Ziggy players, and don't reveal. This is just good generic knowledge for our listeners. Do not reveal your equipment suite until the game starts. Right?
No, the
Don't
trick
give your opponent
is
that information.
you play a one of reality refractor,
Yeah,
and you just make sure you open your deck box and it's fully visible to your opponent.
you can do that.
Show up with the prison playmat.
You could. All right. So we talked about this. Basic hero identity. You know, blink lightning auras, use lightning flow as fuel, bring auras back with hollow counters. You create value from turn to turn. You are not destroying your opponent one turn. This is not that kind of game plan. It's not Oscilio. All right.
I mean, Oscilio wishes he could kill his opponent in one turn again.
I mean, dude, you guys come damn near. Old Aurora did too. Like, you guys make it hurt. So, what's the
I
biggest
mean,
strength?
I think the big thing is that you have access to this really cool kill,
Yeah.
for like a better description, with Aphrodias and the Starfield Touch and the Stardust Spike. That's what I call the main idea of this deck and what you're trying to do every game.
And biggest weakness that you can see? I mean, I saw a few, but I don't know if it's a huge weakness.
Yeah, so some games you don't have lightning flow
That's what I was about to
because
say. The fucking
there's
worst
not
aura
enough.
token yet, man. I hate that.
Yeah,
Anyways, go ahead.
yeah, there's not an insane amount of lightning flow generation. Like Flittering Spike is not the best card ever, but It's fine at making lightning flow because you need to find it in order to actually execute your strategy. You know, some games you like do it turn 0 and it's awesome.
Yeah. I know I said it earlier, but this also, like, generally speaking, you don't bring Arcane Barrier against a Ziggy hero. But you said some heroes just naturally have Arcane Barrier on their equipment that will never break during the game. I know last week we mentioned wizards and stuff like that, and Aurora has some because of the dyadic carapace and all this stuff. So I'm sure if you have Arcane Barrier at the end of the game, that's going to really stuff a few points of the Aphrodias game plan, right?
Yeah, like a big one is Dio. They just play Achilles Accelerator against you, and then they see Aphrodias, and they're like, "Oh, I'm just gonna not break this until I have to."
I'm surprised Dio didn't LL yet.
Man, Dio finds a way to not win. I swear.
You know, she's definitely her own worst enemy sometimes. Also, the lack of block. You said that. It just go room because the best offense is the best defense in this case.
Yeah, no, like sometimes you draw a hand of like 2 Nourishing Glow, a Blink, and like Gone and Flash, and you're like, man, this would be so good if I wasn't at 2 with my opponent at 10 right now.
All right. I don't know why I yawned. My
Yeah,
brain's like, I guess, firing on all synapses. What's a couple of the common mistakes that people can make with this deck, like new players trying to learn it?
yeah, probably the easiest one is Phantasmaclasm. Just not choosing the right card with it.
Fair.
Yeah, it's Phantasmaclasm is not an easy card to play with, man. Sometimes it's obvious what to choose because your opponent just has like an insanely busted card in hand. Like, against Aurora, they have Arc Lightning. It's almost always Arc Lightning.
Yeah, but sometimes you could filter out. Let's say you do this and they brick their hands, and let's say Guardian Brute, whatever.
Yeah, you take the 1 blue. I
Yeah,
mean, granted, he's going to be playing this against Guardian.
that's true. That's true. Or Brute, I guess, for that matter. Yeah, I mean, so you can filter their hand to get something better. So that's always the risk with Phantasmaclasm.
Yeah, no, you like Oscilio is like a good one, like good example matchup where sometimes you Phantasmaclasm them, and then they draw the God on a Flash and they kill you.
Yeah. The people that want to cycle their decks faster to get to their key cards, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, no problem. All right, so this deck seems interesting, seems fun. What kind of player would like really kind of gravitate toward this deck? Like if you're trying to pitch to someone.
I think it's very much like the kind of player that like wants to do something that like isn't insanely like straightforward, but like, decently linear. Like, a lot of people don't like playing Syndra because they're like, yeah, bro, just play the hand, easy, kill your opponent. And this deck's not too different from that for the most part, but you do have like, a bit of trickery because you have like these instants that can let you order things weirdly for your opponent. You have like this Aphrodias kill that is not inherently obvious. Like your opponent may not even know about it whenever they see it.
Yeah. All right. And is this like me and you? We love playing those decks that go like not to time. Like we're done in 15 minutes. We grab a drink, whatever. Are you in this for the long haul or is this a short kind of game? Can you close out the game pretty early?
Yeah, this is a deck that generally is favored in shorter games. Something you'll note about it is that it doesn't have any real way to like get like these insane like value from each individual turn. Like, take like Oscilio for example. He's going to activate Volzar every turn, and so he's happy to like have the game last 9 turns because that just means that he dealt 9 damage with his weapon. Or meanwhile, Ziggy, like, Phantasmaclasm's good and all, but once you hit second cycle, you're out of like those above rate attacks, and now your deck is kind of sucky.
All right. So let's say 1 being Kano, 10 being Syndra, as far as straightforward aggro goes. Right, aggro. Where would you place Ziggy on this spectrum?
Like,
1 being combo Kano, 10 being Syndra as far as straightforward aggro. How would you place Ziggy? Well, this style, Aphrodias.
6, maybe 7.
Son of a bitch. Oh man, that's good. All right.
Yeah, no, I'd probably put it closer to 7. It's
pretty straightforward with a little bit of trick.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that there's like a ton of crazy stuff. Like you can get some intricacies with Gone in a Flash, but even then, you don't really do like a lot of the crazy Gone in a Flash, like weirdness because this deck doesn't usually want to Lightning Greaves combo people.
And I mean, based off everything you're saying, it seems like you pretty much have a simple gameplay, but it sounds like you could really clunk up your hand sometimes, and that's what makes it could make it difficult to kind of clunk things. Is it pretty simple? You just throw big attacks, try to get your attacks go again until they get down to a certain kill range, and then reach out and touch them, right?
Yeah, you like block a little bit whenever you have a hand that's missing a bit of like good extension.
All right, man. So we kind of dabbled around it, but tell me about your matchup thoughts. Like like let's go about against basic aggro, mid range, control. Like let's compare it to the other heroes in the set. Like what would this be like? This Aphrodias build.
Yeah, so against aggro decks, you're not that bad. You have a good bit of like above value plays with your like Phantasmoclasm and like Miraging Metamorph, and then of course you have like Gone on a Flash like lines like with Snapdragon Scalers in this deck. A very real line to go for is just Gone in a Flash, snap to give it go again, play Electrostatic Discharge, replay the Gone in a Flash, and just 2-card 11 your opponent. Like where normally like in most Gone in Flash based decks you feel bad about that. In this, you're actually like completely fine with that.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, very similar to how OG Aurora played Gone in a Flash.
Gotcha. Okay. How about mid range?
So you see, this is why it could get a little bit annoying because if they actually are good at blocking Arcane and like bringing defense reactions, they can start like out mathing you quite easily. But if they don't, because they sideboarded for Refractor, you actually have a real game on your hands. Like,
and you know, I know people were shitting on Iris Reality, but I think Iris is a really good card still. I mean, it's one card. It's really a one card for go again, right?
I will say Iris is a lot better now that what's that guy called? Victor LL. Yeah, you remember Victor? Yeah. Fun fact, we forgot to mention it. Victor LL this week. Yay.
I hated that bastard, man.
Yeah, but like Victor was a deck that could, play 12 Clash of Bravados with Remembrance over the course of a game. And man, nothing sucks more as Iris player than going attack with my aura and they go block with Clash of Bravado, destroy your attacking aura. Your turn is now done. My turn, I will hammer your other aura next.
Yeah. I mean, I think Iris is pretty good, man. But anyways, this isn't the Iris build. This is, the different build. So just have the Reality Refractor kind of showing you your deck box, but not have it in your deck list. Maybe have a sticker on the outside so they think.
Deck list, Is it like Aaron Grace? I'm pretty sure like that's what he did with the Lightning Greaves in his deck box. Like people were like, "Yo, why the hell is he playing Lightning Greaves in the like 8-for-player combo deck?" And I'm pretty sure the answer was because he would just like show his opponent Lightning Greaves every
Dude,
game.
It's like, God, what's that Riptide? Not Death Dealer. The one where you can't play defense reactions from hand.
Oh, Dreadbore.
Yeah, it's like you don't show the Dreadbore, right? Or you do, and then they're like, "Oh shit, is he playing Dreadbore?" You know what I mean? And they take out some of their defense reactions. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, you just play 3 defense reactions against Riptide and call it a day usually with most decks.
All right, so mid range, just exploit them because everyone think that you're on the Iris or the Reality Refractor. Hope they don't have AB. What about control? Like the most recent one's probably Jarl, right?
Yeah, so this is bad. I'm pretty sure like a good chunk of Jarl decks are just like on Heart of Ice against Ziggy anyway, because refractor lists will play Corrosive Space Dust, and they need some amount of Arcane Barrier to beat that. And man, once your opponent's on 1 Arcane Barrier, that gets in the way of a lot of your otherwise fun lines, we'll say.
So dodge Jarl, he's probably the only 80-20 him favored at 80%, or is it like
Jarl,
worse? What's it?
Bro, if Jarl knows what they're doing, I'm pretty sure it's actually unwinnable.
Damn. So shake your opponent's hand and get lunch.
No, what you do here is like you act like you're playing Refractor, and they have like no chance of beating you. You just look at them like, yeah, man, you got paired against Ziggy when you played Guardian. GG. And you flip over Aphrodias, you look at them awkwardly.
All right, so hear me out. Maybe in one of your sideboard slots, you put the Reality Refractor or the Iris in, and against Jarl, you actually play it to increase your win chance to maybe a 20%.
Yeah, that is a thing you can do. I will say this deck list is a little bit outdated because I think we built it like a week after US Nationals. Because it goes, Jeremy was also involved in like testing this out because
makes sense.
We're like playing this deck. We're like, okay, this deck isn't awful, and so one of the things we were testing was doing that. But that was when Victor was the premier Guardian, and we're like, you still just lose the Clash of Bravado. It's not worth it. So that's something that may like be a realistic thing to look into, is playing like free astral etchings in sideboard with calming gesture and
Yeah, kind of do a
reality
switchboard.
effect. Yeah, and you just play like a 5 card
Yeah,
like
I don't
sideboard.
hate that either. You kind of got the best of both worlds. Not top end power, but actually, you speaking of Jeremy, Mr. Man was on Oscilio. He was on Prism. He liked no, he was on Prism. He was on Dromai. So this is like marriage of all those. How's he like it? Does he like Ziggy?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man, I got his deck. His deck is named Storm Sharding My Pants, and I really wanted to use that name, but his list like was slightly worse off and more outdated because he's actually had to prep for a pro tour.
Gotcha, gotcha. All right. So, I mean, it seems pretty good, man. It's fun. I mean, I think it has potential to run the Aphrodias list, especially for those people that wanted to kind of hold true to the preferred Ziggy play pattern. I mean, with some reality upside, it's like there's something to be said about someone like you closing out the game. Ziggy does have an issue sometimes with being just fatigable, right? Because he does like even with his Iris decks or reality refractor.
Iris, yeah. Like reality refractor is not super easy to fatigue outside of like certain things. Like gravy, for example, will almost always fatigue reality refractor. Like I remember like testing for nationals. Thomas was going to bring Ziggy, and then he tested against gravy. And like they were playing some game. I leave to like go grocery shopping. I come back an hour later. They're still playing the game, and it's just like Thomas getting fatigued.
But he doesn't like. He likes to be the heel. I think he says instead of being the one
Yeah, so
being.
he's like, screw this. I'm playing Jarl for nationals. And that's why he pivoted.
Interesting. Yeah. All right, man. What's your closing thoughts on Aphrodias Zyggy? All right, ask you once. Great value or great waste of time? What do you think?
Pretty mid right now.
So you're right there in the middle. All right.
Yeah, I think this is like a deck that is fine, but they could do a little bit of a better job of increasing its power level.
So do you? Now, I mentioned this before a couple episodes ago, but this kind of seems to me like how Oscilio 1 was kind of finding his legs. I get it, he doesn't have legs, but finding his legs when Rosetta first launched. And at first, people were kind of down on him. He wasn't really powered, but people kept on playing him, like getting that fine tune. And as cards came out, Oscilio kept on increasing in power. It seems kind of like the same way with Ziggy, where they were too hesitant to give him all the tools earlier. But I could really see the next couple sets kind of give him one or two tools to really promote the Aphrodias game plan. If you don't mind that wait, just getting on the Aphrodias now to get used to that game plan style definitely give you a benefit for, especially for armories, right?
Yeah, although we'll see how good this ends up being when the next set comes out and it's Oops All Rune Blades.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
yeah.
I pray. Bro, I want 6 more Rune Blades.
I mean,
So that way, like,
yeah.
I can.
Oh, we also got to do a mastery pack warrior. We won't have to set deep dive. We'll just pick 3 or 4 cards and talk about it since no one's going to watch it outside of people that are
Bro,
interested in that.
we can like rate every card in a sealed context where there's no drafting whatsoever on 1 to
Well,
5.
they don't have no DraftKings coming for that, right?
Yeah, no, there'd be no reason to rate the cards.
Yeah,
In terms
that's what I'm
of their
saying. So
1 to
just
5.
maybe our personal 3 of what might benefit the Warrior. I'm hyped for Warrior, by the way. I think it's going to fix it, but that's another episode. But
I'm
I'm
hyped
always hyped with these decks, man. LSS does a good job. I'm one of those sheep that like to say, "Oh, shiny." I like that. So, anyways, any other closing thoughts on Ziggy, man?
No.
All right. So again, thank you, Justin. Thank you, Jeremy, for the testing. If you see Aphrodias, just remember, guys, just say it's so sparkly. And then, yeah, turn order. You kind of want to go second on this. There's no reason for you to set up. I think I asked Andrew that earlier. Even though our matchup guide says no turn preference, there is a turn preference, obviously. Other than that, if you're in the Southeast region, check out AGE. I do recommend signing up for it. It's a way for the Southeast region to get more growth, and it's going to be a big event. This is a West Coast thing. They're trying to expand out here. Andrew, do you remember what store they're going at?
It's the Gamers Guild in Jasper, Alabama.
Yeah.
I believe, which I don't know how they have room for 50 people, but it's gonna be really fun. Oh yeah, other fun facts. I think there's like a tattoo place like in the back of like the store or something.
Oh,
cool. So if you want to get a tattoo after you pop out, you can do that too.
Yeah, I got a couple homemade tattoos when I told you this before, right? I was 14.
Yeah, and tell the rest of the people the story time.
I guess I could. So, funny thing about hobby paint, like the stuff you paint Warhammer miniatures with, is you could dip that in. I don't recommend this, by the way. This is not medical advice, by the way. I was 14 years old. I wanted to give myself a tattoo. tattoo, so I gave myself a prison tat. Right? You have to pierce the skin with paint and you have to hear the pop. Right? That's the secret. You do this hundreds of times until you have a design on your skin that doesn't go away. This has been over 29 years now, roughly. And then what's worse is I told a whole bunch of guys this story, and I was drinking, and it was built. So they gave me a huge tattoo on my back. And to this day, when I take off my shirt at the gym, I see guys, and there's a golden rule at the gym that you don't look or you don't stare at other guys when they're undressing, right? But I can see them going like this, right? Just a double take, right?
You know, the dudes at the gym to look at you.
Dude, no, it's on my back, right? It's like pretty big, and it looks like the thing is, no one knows what it looks like. They just think like the best expression is if you ever know what Gumby is. It's an old '70s claymation cartoon. It looks like Gumby doing a split, taking a shit on my back. That's what it looks like, dude. So, kids, don't drink and do something stupid. You're going to regret it. Yeah, I got more stories about that, but enough of that. That's going to be our closing thoughts. Hey, funny what you brought. Funny what you brought up talking about tattoo parlors. Hey, we got a Discord. Join it. I know we're trying to grow it. I mean, it's nothing major now. It's just a extra channel there. Eventually, we'll do something, right? When we're not so busy with our personal lives. You can find me on Discord as well, midnight_WI11. And until next time, remember, every turn is a decision. Every decision is a story. Don't forget your damn Tunic Counter. Peace.